going off on some of that, are your emails concise and to the point and professional? You would be surprised what we see. Just remember, address the point. The phone conversation. This is one of the pet peeves of many, inclusive of mine. Long-winded answers. If it takes you more than 2 minutes to tell me the answer to my question, it's going to be a concern. Our clients who are at the C-suite or board, the higher you go, the shorter their attention spans. So keep your answers direct, to the point. Support it with your story later. Don't tell the story to get to the answer. That will only concern the interviewer, the recruiter, or even if you went right to the hiring manager. And of course, I always say this, be ready. And if someone says, give me 3 reasons why you're the ideal candidate, be ready. And again, your answer should align with the job spec. And that spec is critical. I'm telling you to take the time. If you're face-to-face with someone, eye contact, body language, you can't control, but it is critical. If you have a problem with eye contact, they're going to put a mental note down or physically write on paper somewhere, bad eye contact, and that sends a different message. There's probably outstanding people to talk about body language. There's great books out there, but sometimes you can't control it. I would just say try to be aware of it. It does send messages. If you're stretching the truth, your body language gives it away.
Paul?
Yes.
Let's dial back to the previous. There you go. So on that topic of be ready, 3 reasons why you're the ideal candidate. The chats I'm getting goes something like this. How much research should I do so that when I'm talking about myself as the ideal candidate, I'm actually able to distinguish myself from the competition? That's a tough thing, but it seems like it could be very beneficial to do a compare and contrast with others who might be applying for the same position and who might be speaking to the same recruiter. What's your advice on that one?
This is a great point. It also relates to sometimes when you reach out to a posting, maybe by an executive search firm, rare, or if you're just reaching out unsolicited email to the recruiter about a job you heard about, someone sent you the job spec. And how do those 3 reasons, I always tell people to pretty much copy and paste the requirement section, the first 3 bullets, because I'm going to beat us up a little bit as in the industry. We don't want to do that much work. And you can't let us think. You have to tell us where you align to the job spec and how you're the ideal candidate. And that cover note, or even that follow-up or that face-to-face interview, you have to know and I push my clients on this. What are the top 3 things this person has to accomplish in the first year to know they're successful? And you have to align yourself to the requirements and or that specific point, how you've met, exceed to those. Just be ready and say, oh, they're looking for 15 plus years in this industry. I've got 18, I've got 20, I've got 25 years of experience in this industry. I'm looking for 10 years of P&L leadership experience. I've run a P&L for 10 years, 9 years. Whatever it is, address it. Be ready for those 3 key reasons. And there are always the first 3 bullets of a job spec of requirements and even responsibilities. Those are the most important ones.
Mhm. A couple of more questions before we move on to the next part of this, Paul. First, is it common and or frowned upon for an interviewee, let's say in person, to refer to notes during the interview? Is it something that you would look at and say, well, what are you doing? Or actually look at it as a point of preparedness? What's your view of that?
My point of view, my opinion is I'm glad you're taking notes. It's showing me your interest. It wouldn't upset me. Some people want the interviewer to be comfortable with it, so they table it. Would it be okay if I take notes during this or refer to my notes? You can ask it. I'm yet to see in 25 years where someone said, no, you're not allowed to take notes.
Mm-hmm.
So I encourage it and refer down it, your sense of organization and preparedness tell me the importance of the meeting. So that's a good thing.
Okay, one more question, then we'll move on to more. On the topic of storytelling, and you touched on this earlier, but here's the question I'm getting. Is this the right moment in time when I'm talking to a recruiter through any one of these channels to begin to storytell fit? Because we all know that that's the critical part about getting into an organization, right? Is this the moment in time to do that, or is that not the right thing to do at this moment?
The old saying, facts tell, stories sell.
Mhm.
So it is, but answer the question and ask, I'd love to share a story with you. And if you preface it, and if they say, I'd love to hear it, but I can't right now, we've got to keep the interview, that's fine. If they're looking forward to hearing it, you'll see their eyebrows raise and their body position change. Tell the story, but keep it on point, but keep it engaging. So stories are critical.
Okay, great. Thanks.